Hello, so today let's talk about cervicogenic headaches. Cervical nerve compression, could this be the cause of your headaches? Now, as a busy executive mom, when you are juggling your family life, your work life, and the multiple responsibilities that we tend to have, things can get very overwhelming. Now, throw a headache into that mixture, it starts to interfere with your productivity, with your energy levels, and really everything feels much more exhausting and of course much more overwhelming than usual. Now you might blame your stress, you might blame you know a, a lack of sleep, you might blame sitting at the laptop and watching that screen for hours, but then have you ever considered the root cause of your headaches? Maybe it is your neck or your cervical spine that is causing all these headaches that you have. Now, cervical nerve compression or basically that is what causes cervicogenic headaches, or headaches originating from the cervical spine are called cervicogenic headaches. So the cervical nerve compression occurs when the nerves in your neck, especially the upper part of your neck, become pinched or irritated, and because of that you tend to get headaches. And when these headaches get chronic, they can actually stop you in your tracks. I know it because I have dealt with them firsthand, and that's why I can speak from experience. So if you often experience headaches that starts from the base of your skull or from your neck area getting stiff, and it goes up the back of your head and even comes radiates into your forehead or behind your eyes, maybe it's a time to take a closer look at your cervical spine and to find out if that is the reason behind your headaches. So we're going to look at this all these that I spoke about in the video today. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their spinal, that is back and neck and nerve pain. And this is despite low energy levels and brain fog. Now, I do this by giving you simple exercises, some easy lifestyle modifications, some tips and tricks, things that have helped me in my own pain and adrenal fatigue journey. When I say adrenal fatigue, it is a very wide term, but the main symptoms that I have had were lack of energy or low energy levels and brain fog, or that mommy brain, or lack of clarity in your thoughts, really. And we are talking about lack of clarity to the extent that it starts to affect your functioning on a day-to-day basis. So because I had these two symptoms, I know how next to impossible, not impossible, but how nearly impossible it is to manage your aches and pains when you have this condition or these symptoms. So that is what I talk about. And I do this without taking away a big chunk of your time, because, hey, we're moms, we're busy people. So let's get into the topic for today, which is your neck causing your headaches, and cervical nerve compression explained. So, as I was saying, your cervical spine or your neck is made vertebrae on either side. There exiting actually all the way from your cervical spine down to between every two vertebrae. There's a space there from which obviously your spinal cord. Okay, let me back up. Your spinal cord is running in between that the vertebral canal there, the the place for the spinal cord, and it is protected by the vertebrae around it. And from the spinal cord, at every level between every two vertebrae, there are nerves coming out or exiting. So the nerves go and supply a specific area. So the nerves from your upper to mid cervical spine, so basically that is from your hairline to about the middle of your neck here, so which is C1 to C3, 4. This is your upper to mid cervical spine. The nerves that exit this area go and supply the back of your skull here, the sides here, and all the way up to the front. So if you have any irritation, any compression, we'll come to the reasons later in this video. If you have any irritation or compression of these nerves, it can lead to a headache in this distribution. So we will talk in more details, but I just want to highlight what is a cervicogenic headache. Now, of course, there can be many reasons like poor posture, disc herniation, arthritis, degeneration, even muscle tightness for that matter. It can trigger off your cervicogenic headaches. Now, how do you know that you have a cervicogenic headache? If you have pain in the base of your skull that radiates, so basically you have pain in the base of your skull, so basically along your hairline all the way from this side to the other side, or in any section of that base of the skull, any part of the base of the skull, and it comes up and it radiates to your forehead or your eyes, or it stays in this temporal area here, and you have neck stiffness or pain that worsens with prolonged sitting or looking at a screen for a long period of time. You might have tingling numbness in your arms or maybe in your shoulders and in your shoulders, arms, or hands. If you've had a a long day at work, really, or a stressful day, or you have a stressful event around you, or something that stresses you out mentally and physically, it'll increase that headache. And reduced neck mobility. So, for example, if you're able to look over your shoulder completely this side, maybe the other side you're not able to do that complete check over, when you're doing a shoulder check when you're driving your car. So, things like this start to come up as symptoms of cervicogenic headaches, things that we might dismiss in everyday life. So, these are some of the common ones. Of course, they will be specific to your condition, because what is the reason for your cervicogenic headaches? Now, let's talk about these reasons now. So, you can have a forward head posture. That is, you're leaning forward while you're working on your laptop or your phone. And so, if you have your phone and you're always sticking your head out like this, it can put excess strain on that cervical spine, leading to nerve irritation. If you're sitting for long periods of time, especially when you're slouched like this, then again, your neck sticks out, irritates those nerves, leading to headache. If you have a disc degeneration or muscle tension or stress in that area, again, the nerves in that area can get pinched. Even with degeneration or arthritis in the neck, it can happen. Now, how can you actually manage this? Or let's talk about some easy tips to relieve this cervical nerve compression and reduce your cervicogenic headaches. Improve your posture. If you've heard me for more than 2 minutes, you know I talk a lot about posture. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to improve your posture in this video because it'll get too long. However, I have written a blog on this on the same topic, which is called Cervical Nerve Compression. Could this be the cause of your headaches? I will leave a link to that blog in the description of this video, and you can find it on my bio if you're watching me on Instagram. If you can't find it in either of the places, let me know. I'll send it across to you. Just message me or drop a comment below this video. Now, that blog has a full video on understanding cervicogenic headaches, so it gives you much more details than what I have told you here. It talks about degeneration, tight muscles in your neck, how to address your posture, what are the things you can do, like use a supportive pillow, taking breaks and stretching your neck, strengthening your neck muscles and core, how to reduce the inflammation in your neck. So you can apply a hot pack or a cold pack to relieve the tension and inflammation. Now, I'm not going into the details of these because I have done n number of videos on this. You can go to my YouTube channel, check that out, or check out that blog, or do both, and that'll give you a lot of details. Now, if you have been suffering from cervicogenic headaches, I have a course called Simple Solutions to Manage a Cervicogenic Headache, and I will drop a link to that in the description of this video. The course, this offers you practical, easy to implement, proven strategies that have actually worked for people. I have worked with many people with cervicogenic headaches on my own self as well. And if I'm not careful with my pillow and my posture, it does come back, which happened last week itself. So I know firsthand what it feels like and what are the strategies that work for me, and maybe they can help you too. So this course has helped a lot of people overcome their cervicogenic headaches, their neck pain, regain their energy, and actually fully engage with their family and career. Because at the end of the day, that's what we want, right? We want to be pain free so that we can actually enjoy the time with our family, enjoy that work, that be productive at work. You don't want to be held back by the pain all the time, right? So have a look at that. It's not a very high ticket course. So because, not because it doesn't have value, but because I want it to be accessible, because this is something I needed when I had a headache. Anyway, enough about that. If you have any questions, any comments on today's video, I know this was just a very brief overview of cervicogenic headaches, but ask me your questions, drop them in the comment below, and I'll be